Cheers. Okay, now on to my little video. So I just wanted to kind of get on here and like talk about my DVD collection. Y'all know that I am like obsessed. It's one of the things that makes me happy, along with a few other things. In fact, I'll just kind of list those because you guys will probably hear about them on my channel at a later time. So first thing I would say is obviously my DVD collection. I love collecting them. I love having them like on my little shelf, on my display. And at some point next week, I want to go ahead and do my row by row, pick out like my favorite ones and just kind of discuss why it's my favorite, that sort of thing. However I end up doing that. And then the other things that I really enjoy doing or collecting, at one point it was Squishmallows. I do still have my collection of Squishmallows. The problem that I have is that I don't have a place to put them. So they're just kind of chilling in my room on the floor, which makes me kind of sad. I've been meaning to like get or make a net for them to just kind of hang out, but I've also been kind of thinking about selling a few, just because I have so many and I don't really have the space for all of the Squishmallows. So just something that I'm, thinking about and something to kind of keep in mind. And then I have also started sort of collecting yarn. If you guys don't know much about me yet, I also crochet. I say that I crochet when I feel like it. It's kind of hot and cold for me. Like sometimes I really enjoy it and really am motivated, and then there's other times where I just cannot make myself pick up the hook and do the work, and that's usually when I'm asked to make things, but also like if I'm asked to make something, then I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make myself do it, but then when it's me wanting to do something, it's like, oh, I will just wait, I've got time, I don't have time right now, but I'll do it later, and then I just don't do it. So there's that. Those are like my crocheting and my collecting of DVDs, and watching them are like my biggest hobbies at the moment. I don't know, I'm not like a very I'm not a very like social person. I don't talk to a lot of people, unless it's like online, in which case it's, just like one person, I don't know. So basically I'm saying that as a note of like, I don't really put myself in other situations where I do new and different things. So just something that I feel like I should have noted. I don't really know. But back to talking about my DVD collection. I have lately been collecting a few new types of DVDs. Something about me, I will say, is that I'm really mostly interested in collecting complete sets of like DVDs. whether it's movies or TV shows or whatever. I don't like having missing pieces, and unless it's something where the second film or whatever was just not good. Because I've had a few of those where I just didn't care for it as much as I liked the first one. Some of y'all will probably come for me about this, but like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, I really like the original better than I like the second one. The second one was good. It wasn't, I won't call it bad, because it's been a while since I've watched it. But the first one, I just found myself watching more than the second one, and I just liked it better. So there's that. But yes, so the things that I have been collecting lately, I believe I mentioned it. Oh, sorry. Y'all, please excuse me. I've been just tired all day, and I don't really know why. But recently, I went online onto Facebook, and I bought a bag of DVDs, like a giant bag, like a reusable gift bag, basically, of DVDs. And I did end up donating a few because I just didn't want all of them. Like, there were some that I already had, like a copy of Zombieland. I will say that's one of my favorite movies. It's really good. I think it's really cute. Just personally. But I also like kept a few things, like I got a box set of like the Chucky series, all 7 movies. I believe there's only 7. I really hope so. But I am currently like in the middle of watching all of those. I literally just watched the third one earlier today. The second and the third one today, actually. Just because it's something that has been on my to-watch list, or on my to-watch shelf for a little bit, for a little too long, it felt like. So that's just what it is. Excuse me. So I don't really remember where I was going with that, but I was gonna do like an update on like just letting you guys know that I was gonna post something hopefully next week about going through my shelves and talking about like my favorite DVDs on that shelf, or just as a collective whole, my favorite DVDs that I own. I will say that I do watch content that is not like on DVDs. Like I do have access to like a lot of streaming services. I'll say it that way. I know that at some point, how do I put this? Or no, I am basically just preparing for a day where I am not given access to those services. Personally, I am one of those people that I don't want to be like paying for multiple streaming services, or having my name out there for multiple services, that sort of thing, it just doesn't, I don't know, just something about it just doesn't really sit right with me. It doesn't really feel that good to me. So I'm just kind of preparing myself for a time where I don't have that access. And, so I know some of y'all will be like, well, hey, where do you think you're gonna, what happens when you've watched all of your DVDs and all of your content already? Truth be told, I will still probably, go see movies. There's a new movie coming out, if it's not out already. I think it may have just come out. The Boy and the Heron. It's a Studio Ghibli movie, or Ghibli, I really don't know. I'm sorry. That I've been looking forward to watching for a little while now, after I found out that it was being made and coming out. I've been wanting to watch it. I just haven't kept up with it. Something I will say, oh right, I was gonna mention this. Sorry, I'm just kind of all over the place, I guess. Something that I will say is that I have been more recently getting into animated movies, and I'm not just talking animated foreign films. I'll say it that way. I say that, well, whatever. I've been getting more into anime, basically. I was trying to make it sound all fancy, but it's really not that big of a deal. I don't know, for the longest time, and I'm talking a long time, for a few years, my brother tried to get me into anime, and I just fought him on every single step that he was taking with me. And he was just just give it a try, just give it a shot, you'll love it. And I was so stubborn that when he did that, I got to the point where I didn't want to watch anime ever at all. And eventually, though, a few years later, I literally mean a few years later, we had that conversation and gone in circles and circles and circles, and it was really just me being stubborn and him also being stubborn. I know you're gonna love anime if you just give it a shot. And I was like, no, I don't want to watch anime. I just don't. I like watching humans do the acting, and I like understanding what is being said. And, whatever. I was not, I don't know. It was not the greatest time in our, relationships. So eventually, he got me to watch, a few episodes of, what was it, One Punch Man, or One Piece Man? No, One Punch Man. A few episodes of that. I had watched a few episodes of Naruto. That sounds right? With my parents, English dubbed. And I had watched a couple of episodes of One Piece. At that time, I will say that I really think that he tried to, I don't know, I just wasn't able to get into it at that time. I will say, now, he and I have been watching One Piece together, and we had discussed watching another anime together as well, because he has access to an anime streaming service. I think it's Crunchyroll really sure. But he has access to it, and he was like, excuse me, I know you are going to forget what is happening, you are going to forget where we're at, so I don't think it's like the greatest idea for us to mix those up. And I was like, you know what, I think you're right, like, I don't think you're wrong. You know, I didn't like the fact that we weren't able to watch something different, like one episode in the mix, but I understand it, because it took me a very, very long time to remember the names of the main characters, like Luffy and Nami, Sanji, Zoro, Chopper, Frankie, Usopp, and Brooke. And I think that's it. I think I got them all. I could be totally wrong. I'm not really sure. But, you know, it took me a really long time to learn their names. And, you know, I knew I could describe them. I'm just bad at names. And also, I have a little bit of a difficult time remembering exactly where we may have left off on the show, just because there's so much that happens in the show that sometimes I get like stuck on one part, and I'm like, no, there's no way that could be the end of it. Like when okay, if you haven't seen One Piece and you're gonna watch it, this is like a big spoiler. Big spoiler. Ace dies. When Ace dies, I really hated it. And I was dead serious. I told my brother that I was done watching One Piece. I was done. Because Ace was one of my favorite characters. He is one of my favorite characters. Along with Zoro and Sanji. I know Sanji is a freaking mess, but I adore him. And Chopper, I think he's cute. I love his relationship with Usopp and Frankie. I love their relationship together. It's just awesome. But, you know, it was just, it was just so painful, you know? Like, and I literally argued with my brother. I was crying and I was arguing with my brother, and I was like, he's not dead. There's no way they just killed his character off. Like, no way they just killed his character off. But yeah, they did. And he was like, well, who do you know that has an ability to raise the dead? And I was like, the only person that I could think of was, what is that character's name? I don't remember his name, but he's the freaking, like, character, you know? He just, like, oh gosh, he, like, eats souls. And, he grows really large. And he really almost killed Luffy and a lot of the characters during that arc. I just don't remember what that arc was or who that guy was off the top of my head. I just can't remember. But, anyway. So, now that I've rambled for, like, 20 minutes about freaking anime, I don't know. I'm starting to get into it, but, I really strongly feel that if he had started off with Studio Ghibli films, it would have worked out a little bit easier for us both. I really, like, the first one that I ever watched that I think is pretty common for everybody's, like, first watch is Spirited Away. It was beautiful, it was breathtaking, like I felt the emotions with it and it was just great, and that just really hooked me in. And then you know what, I may just make a separate video about my adoration of like Studio Ghibli films, because I really love them. For the most part, there's some that I'm like, okay, all right, you shouldn't really be here, but whatever. um, but with that said, like, I'm just gonna stop rambling about this. I just wanted to say thank you though for your guys' like patience and attention, and if you guys um have any like comments or anything, like, I don't know, just let me know. It would be really cool to be able to engage with like fellow DVD lovers and collectors, or people who just really enjoy, um, you know, animated films or live action films or whatever, um, and just kind of get to connect with y'all. That would be great. So, anyway, thank you, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.